So for those of you that have a 2018 and newer Jeep JL or a JT, you may have not gotten into all the wiring yet, maybe putting on some auxiliary lights or wiring in compressors or anything like that. Well, if you didn't already know, the JLs and the JTs are pre-wired to hook up to the factory auxiliary switches that are right underneath the radio. And today we're going to go through where those wires are exactly, what they mean, what kind of amperage they are, and what you can hook them up for. So when you do go to add some lights onto your JL or your JT or whatever other electrical accessories you may want to hook up, you'll know exactly where they're at and what they do. So with that said, let's go ahead, let's jump into it. So now if you have the 2018 and newer JL or JT Gladiator and it does not have the tow package or the heavy duty electrical upgrade from the factory, it's not going to have the auxiliary switches, which is fine because today we'll show you what you can do instead to hook up some auxiliary switches. Like Zach's particular Jeep here, he actually had the heavy duty or has the heavy duty tow package and electrical wiring kit, which gives you a little extra amperage throughout the alternator. Also gives you the 4 auxiliary switches that are underneath the radio in front of the shifter. So if you don't have that, there's not going to be any switches there, which you can. And like what Zach has here is the Rough Country. It's a multiple switch controller, multiple accessory controller, which has the multiple switches. I think there's about 7 switches that you can control different lights on. But from the factory, you have 4 wires that actually come up into the engine bay from the factory switches that are right next to the battery. So you might have to dig them out just a little bit, but there are 4 pre-wired wires here that go to your auxiliary switches, and underneath the dash as well there's also 4 wires underneath there to hook up anything into your interior. Maybe it's an air compressor or any kind of electrical light or something like that that you may want to hook up. Now with that said, these wires, there's 4 different colors. Obviously there's 2 bigger wires which are going to be 40 amp circuits, so 2 separate circuits, 40 amps per wire on the 2. And there's actually 4 circuits with these 4 wires. There's 2 40 amp circuits, which are going to be the bigger wires. One is red or kind of a pinkish. The other one is sort of a green with a red line on it. Those are going to be your 40 amp circuits. So heavier draw lights that you may want to hook up to it or anything that's going to pull heavier draw will be the bigger wires there. And then the 2 smaller wires are 15 amp circuits. So you have 2 15 amp circuits, 2 40 amp circuits that you can wire up to your factory auxiliary switches. And the cool thing is that these wires already have relays built into them and obviously fused. So you don't have to worry about adding additional fuses in them or relays or anything like that. They're already pre-wired, ready to go. So pretty cool. Now, if you do have it, like I was saying before, if you have a JK or your JL or JT does not have that tow package or heavy duty electrical wiring upgrade from the factory, then you can install Rough Country's MultiSwitch Controller, and that does run about 230 bucks. You can find it right on our website at TrailBuilt, and that's also super simple to install. Like Zach here, he did have those auxiliary switches from the factory, but he decided to go ahead and place that one Rough Country switch panel in there for a nice clean look. Plus it gives you 7 different switches, 7 different circuits to hook up to. So you can wire these 4 circuits from those auxiliary switches and tie those into that switch controller from Rough Country, but you definitely don't necessarily need to. And what Zach did is he wired up that switch controller right directly up to the battery, powered the switch controller, ran the wires to the switch panel that's in the interior. So now he has 7 different circuits with the Rough Country switch controller that he can control. So he's got auxiliary lights for his ditch mounted light pods up here. He's got another switch that are hooked up to some of the front lights up here. Another switch that you can run a solenoid with to run the winch, and the list goes on, but it's a really nice upgrade. Either way, if you get the switch controller from Rough Country, or even to know that you have 4 different circuits that come factory with your Jeep that you can hook up different auxiliary lights or different auxiliary power accessories up to. 4 wires up here in the engine bay, and then also those 4 wires that are underneath the dash on the passenger side, which you can multi-purpose these wires. And what I mean by that is, so your wires that run to the switch, whether they're in the engine. So what I mean by that is that you have your 2 40 amp circuits, you have your 2 15 amp circuits. You can run an auxiliary power accessory off of one of these wires in the engine bay, but if you go to hook up something else to that same circuit that's underneath the dash, you're also going to be powering that on the same circuit. What I mean by that is, let's say you have an air compressor that's running your air lockers or whatever, hooked up to the same 40 amp circuit that you may have some heavy duty auxiliary lights hooked up to. Well, that single switch is going to control both your air compressor and your lights, which obviously you probably don't want to do that. So what you can do is, if you have lights that are going to go all the way around the vehicle, and maybe there's not a good way to access the back of the vehicle with the wiring, you can wire those to the same circuit that runs back maybe to auxiliary switch number 1, and then you can run the engine bay wires up to maybe some of your front lights, so you can sort of dual purpose those wires for ease of install on that auxiliary switch number 1 or number 2 or number 3 or number 4 or whatever it is. Just keep in mind that if you decide to use both those wires, that same circuit that's up in the engine bay and underneath the dash, that's going to be connected to one singular switch. So something cool to check out. But anyways, besides that, the other thing that is really neat as well is with the JLs and JTs, you can go into your radio settings and you can literally control how you want those switches powered. And what I mean by that is you can either have them powered so that that switch powers up once you turn the ignition on, or you can constant feed any one of those switches by the settings in the radio. Constant feed means that even if you turn the ignition off and there's no power that's supposed to be going to those switches, you can still set it up so that power goes to those switches in case you want to leave maybe your LED lights outside of the vehicle. You want to leave them on because you're setting up camp at night, or even maybe some rock lights that you want to leave on, but you want to turn the ignition off to kill the power to everything else, but you still want those lights on to see obviously at night. So it's kind of cool how they have that set up to have that sort of versatility and that modularity. So very neat feature on the JLs and JTs, and that's if you have that tow package and the heavy duty electrical wiring upgrade on the JLs or JTs. And if you have a JK, well, then the rough country, the $230 multi-powered switch control panel is a really great way to go there. So with all of that said, guys, I hope this video helped you out in one way or another. And guys, not only can you find those rough country switch controllers right on our website in the accessories page, but if you are looking to upgrade your wheels, tires, suspension, or any other accessories for that matter, you can find it right on our website, TrailBuilt Off-Road, or you can click the link in the description below. And guys, as always, we appreciate all of you for watching and all of your support. I'm Josh from TrailBuilt, and we'll see you guys out on the trails.